Alright, we're back. Part 2. You guys have made it to Golden Throne. And the rest of you have finished whatever you... Because you said you were buying some clothes or whatever. You get that in the souk on the way down and then make your way down to Kyra's House of Repose. Let's see. Jonah and Archie, roll me d20s.
Oh God!
Or
Damn.
Jonah as well.
You missed.
God, roll it.
All right, library. Just determining who is going. What are you rolling again? What are you? Stop rolling! You're gonna forfeit. You're gonna forfeit your turn.
Oh my God! I'm apparently lagging a ridiculous amount because I just thought it wasn't rolling.
It's the computer trying to digest Taco Bell.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm trying to save you guys.
So Blackwood and Archie, you guys are gonna buy library passes.
Yep.
Okay.
I already took 50 off.
50 gold pieces, please, and I will put the 14th of Kythorn is your renewal date if you need to. The same day, in fact, that Blackwind's Blessing of Savras expires.
Is it an automatic renewal unless you
No.
forget to cancel?
Unless you pay up front.
It's gym membership.
Yeah, it's an opt-out.
I have this card that says otherwise.
You come back 8 months later, it's like, you owe us 400 gold. Oh, no, I totally meant to cancel.
It's in my other leather pants.
Alright, I've put a note in the calendar so we don't forget. Okay, so the two of you waltz into Golden Throne, into the library like you own the place. Plunk down your money, say, bring
Show
us
me
the
the pop-up
books! What would you like to research as your first topic for your first several hours that you're here? What time is it? What time of day is it? It's probably
That
like
is a good
noon.
question.
It's probably like noon.
It's daytime.
You guys had a long breakfast. You probably slept in a little because of the nightmares. You guys discussed your whole plan for the day. You spent a lot of time in the souk and investigating. I'd say it's like noon. We'll say it's noon.
Are you sure it's noon?
Now that I think about it, yes, it's noon.
No, you gotta write it. You gotta write it like this, so that we think there's a timer happening or something's going on.
It's so
No,
stressful.
no.
It's so stressful.
Where's Undril? Oh no.
Chelton. Okay.
Light evil.
Well,
I'm going to start with the Daijobi Senga. Start straight off the bat, right into it.
Wow. Caltrops.
alright. Blackwood, what are you looking into?
The name. The word.
Name.
The
You have to
name.
pronounce it correctly or you can't find nothing. I'm just kidding. Okay. Roll.
Yes.
You have advantage because
Blackwood.
you have a research assistant assigned to you by the library.
Blackwood rattles off like 5 names, and the research assistant is like, "What name?"
What's this word? Here's a dictionary.
All right.
You gotta keep investigated.
Oh, nice.
nice.
Archie Blackwood almost kept up with you, Archie. So close.
I have a +1
I'm
because
proud
of
of
my...
him.
Oh yeah, your Blessing of Savras actually helps you here.
The +1, yeah.
Excellent. All right. So the first thing you look into was the Daijobi Senga, huh?
Yep.
Well, the Daijobi Senga translates in Chultan to common as Heart of the Wild, The Daijobi Senga is a mythical force that the ancient Tabaxi people believe that permeates the land of Chult. Some theories say that it was put down there by Ubtao himself. Others say that it has always been here as part of the land. But it is a force that keeps the land vibrant and green and allows the flora and fauna to proliferate without any input from the gods themselves. You would know that, or you would find that there was a ancient tribe known as the Obanashi that were set as the watchkeepers or of the Daijobi Senga. What happened to them is unclear. Maybe they're still around. You're not sure. The very very remote tribe, very kind of keeps to themselves. The Daijobi Senga is theorized maybe akin to the ancient elven Mythals in power, and potentially is some sort of massive enchantment along that scale, potentially drawing energy from the Feywild itself into the land of Chult. Hence why there's creatures and animals and things here that are found nowhere else in Faerun. Yeah, there's not much else that you would learn about it, though. Actually, the last thing you would probably learn... No, that's it. That's all.
Okay.
Igaraxig. Blackwind, your investigatory efforts into this name prove frustratingly vacant. You find no mention whatsoever of this name anywhere in these books. The only thing you are able to glean is that you believe that it is definitely a proper noun, and potentially it may be fiendish in nature. So maybe the name of a demon or devil or some other sort of fiend. But the details, and that's only because of the just like the whatever you call it, you know, word stuff that the name is structured with. I'm not a linguist. I don't know the proper terminology.
Syntax?
This syntax, is that the word? I don't know. Maybe.
Oh.
Either way, yeah, it's definitely a proper noun, and it's probably fiendish in nature. But other than that, your research turns up bupkis.
Lies.
Although it is interesting watching your ring flash on and off as you research this.
It's a strobe light.
All right. So that's the first couple hours of your research. Meanwhile, the rest of the party has made their way down to the market ward, and you find yourself in the light of day this time, coming up to the lavish Kyra's House of Repose. There, you are met with a rather large presence of Gilded Eye soldiers. There are at least 6 just in the main area, 2 of which kind of loom menacingly on either side of the doorway as you approach. They are clad in plate armor, their symbols of helm and tier emblazoned on their chest, their red capes fluttering gently in the wind. They look down at you through helmeted visors as you approach the door. But they do not move to block your path.
Right. I salute as I go by.
They give you a very brief nod as you pass them.
What's their deal
Inside,
again? I would just kind of just whispered like Aelin or whoever's near me, just like, what's their deal again?
They're from the mainland, here in many ways to fight off the undead.
That's good.
Kind of pushy about their beliefs. I haven't really encountered it as much here, but on the mainland they tended to be a little more act before really sussing out the nature of what they were fighting against, and if if there was the sense that you might be possessed or in working with what they considered evil, even if they didn't have proof, they would act swiftly and decisively. Yeah, part of the reason why I think Chultans aren't happy to see foreigners is because of them.
We have a
Why don't they just kick him out then?
Too many of them.
merchant princes say not to, but there's some of them are good.
Diplomatic solution.
Yeah, like Undril. I like her.
Yeah, we have had dealings with a few that were noticeably less zealous.
And Undril's friend.
Yeah.
Okay.
Friend.
Yeah, I would definitely air quote that. I'm sorry, I didn't. I thought whispering, but I should definitely put that.
As you enter the hall, it's of course a very, very posh place. You know, velvet seated cushions, elaborate tapestries, polished mahogany floors, or equivalent of a very kind of dark wood gleam, polished to a gleam. There's a large desk in the center, behind which sits a very well-kept man with short-cropped black hair, in kind of fancy-looking silk clothing. He's got a large book that he's in front of him, and he seems to be, at the moment, just kind of sorting through some papers on his desk. But when you enter the foyer, he looks up. You would recognize this man as Tristan, the kind of maitre d', the head guy here. I guess maitre d' is more of a restaurant thing.
Concierge.
Concierge,
Yeah.
He kind of glances up and recognizes Jonah and Aelin. Wouldn't recognize Donaquin or Quillen. Kind of like looks up and, you know, you get a very brief kind of glimpse of maybe some surprise in his eyes, but particularly as he takes in the Aarakocra and Tortle they've just walked in. But he quickly recovers himself, and he stands and gives you a bow, and he says, "Ah, you've returned, Master Jonah, Master Aelin. Welcome back."
It's good to see you, Tristan.
Thanks.
You look particularly busy.
And he kind of glances around, and yeah, there's four like soldiers just kind of like against the wall. One standing right near the foot of the stairs that leads up. Another one standing like directly in the doorway to that one back study, with the doors closed behind him. The other two are just kind of like flanking not the desk, but flanking the walls, one on either side, like just inside the main door where you guys come in. And he kind of nods, and he's like, yes, absolutely. We've been full for quite some time. Good for business, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Anyways, what can I do for you? I have no rooms, unfortunately.
Oh, well, is one of your rooms occupied by Miss Undrel, Silvertusk? She's an old friend. I'd like to say hello.
And he kind of takes a moment and then just pauses for a moment, and then he nods. He's like, yes, in fact, she has been here for a little while now. Good to see her back from the jungle. I believe she left with you last time she went out. Did she not?
She did,
Like,
but we
well,
parted ways. So just want to make sure she was all right. See what the new news was.
And he nods. He's like, oh, well, she seems hale and kind of keeps to herself. I could pass along a message. I'm not sure if she's in at the moment. Or I could, if you'd like, I could send a runner to see if she's here.
Oh, just have her stop by that other establishment, the other one, the Thundering Tusk, and just tell her that we would like to speak with her. You know.
He kind of makes a jots down a little note in a little book, and he's like, absolutely, I can definitely pass that along.
Also, do you by chance and I will give the fake name that
Of artists.
of artist that was using?
He kind of pauses for a long moment. He's like, let me check. Just one moment. And he kind of goes to his big ledger and carefully kind of looks through it, glancing up at you here and there. Aelin, you can tell that he seems awfully nervous all of a sudden. He's kind of fidgeting a little bit with some of the pages, and he's like, not for some time now. No, don't know if I expect him to return, but if so, I can. Would you like to leave him a message as well, or?
Yeah. Tell him to stop in and see us as well.
It's like, yes, of course. And you...
Is something wrong?
It's like, wrong? Well, no, I wouldn't say wrong. How do you... I can't remember. Did I actually give you the false name, or did I just say it's a false name?
You just said it was
Yeah.
under.
So assume he uses the same name, because I don't know what it is. We'll say Mr. Jones. We'll say that.
And me?
And he says, I'm sorry, I wasn't aware that you were acquainted with Mr. Jones. May I ask, out of curiosity, how you met?
Oh, we met out in the jungle.
Yeah, I wouldn't say we know him well.
No. I know him well. I like to cut his jib.
He's just my stepdad. It's fine.
Yeah. No. Very nice. My mom likes him.
We know him well.
I know.
And he kind of nods. He's like, well, he comes and goes, sometimes months, sometimes years at a time. If he happens to stop in, I'll do my best to pass it along. Anything else I should say in the message? Just that you're looking for him.
Yes, that we have information that is of great importance to his cause.
Kind of nods. It's like, oh, great. Okay. Information important to the cause. I'll make sure that he gets... if he's here, or if he comes back, I will ensure that he gets this. You can count on me.
I mean, if he's here, shouldn't you know if he's here?
Well, I mean, if he comes back.
Oh, yeah. That was probably just a slip of the tongue. I understand. Oh, and one last final thing. What was the last final thing?
Dashwind, Lyric Dashwind about the maps. Just seeing if he's still
Aelin.
around.
I think Archie would want us to ask about the maps.
I don't know anything about maps.
Is Laryl Dashblin in?
He looks. He's like, he is indeed. He is staying with us as well. In fact, and he kind of like looks over his shoulder at the.
He's
like,
right.
I believe he's
right behind me.
He's in this one of the studies there. I can fetch him if you like.
Oh,
Or I
sure.
see if he's able to be disturbed.
Yeah. Just yeah. If you could tell him that we have some maps that he asked for.
Well, half
Mm.
half of what he asked for.
And he's like, "Oh, the details don't concern me, sir." And he kind of like rings a
Well,
bell, and a younger Chulton man, probably in his like mid to late teens, kind of like comes out of a side like not closet, like a side room, kind of rushes up, and he's like, and Tristan kind of leans down and whispers in his ear, and he nods and runs off to the back. A few moments later, the door opens, and you see Lyric Dashland. Can't remember what this guy looks like. Anybody? I
Oh,
think he's a
You're
tethered
gonna make
man.
me look that far back.
He's definitely from the Sword
He
Coast.
was
He's not
Luskin.
Chulton. Yeah, is he
he's
Luskin?
Luskin. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a Luskin dude.
Yeah, well, I know he's dressed in fine mercantile clothing, well-to-do, as he must be. He's been staying at Kairos for months.
He's with the Lord's Alliance. He's mid-aged Luskin in fine silks.
Yeah. He comes out and extends his hand to you. Kind of.
I let Jonah shake it.
I'll give him a bow.
And he nods and he's like, "Yes, you have something for me. Is that right? So you've come to collect, finally?"
Oh,
I was beginning to think that this was a fool's endeavor.
oh. Well, it could be both, but we do have half of what you want. So I was going to invite you to come to the Thundery Lizard tonight to join us
He
in
kind of
collecting
chuckles
your
and puts
map.
up a hand. He's like, "Oh no, I don't think I'll be visiting that establishment. A bit below my stature, if it were. No, if you'd like to bring your wares here, say at noon tomorrow, we can discuss further then. We can meet on the veranda above."
Noon.
Got it. At the veranda. I hope there's sweet tea. And
Kind of gives you like a look, like what? Okay. It's like, well, I'm not sure what's on the menu, but I'm sure that Tristan can have something. Tristan kind of just like sitting off to the side, like listening but not listening, kind of like hearing his name, kind of like gives a bow. He's like, "Oh, of course, sir. We can find some sweet tea."
oh, excellent.
He nods. He's like, "Wow, I look forward to hearing and seeing what you've got for me." Like, if there's nothing else.
Nope.
And he turns, and that before he leaves, he turns back to Tristan. He's like, if you wouldn't mind, I'm in the middle of some rather important negotiations. No further interruptions, please." And Tristan's like, "Oh, yes, of course, sir."
Sorry about that, Tristan. I didn't mean to get you in trouble.
And Larrick turns and heads back into the room, closing the door behind him.
What negotiations is he working on? I'll ask Tristan.
Tristan kind of like glances, makes sure the door's closed, and he's like, "I believe he's just arranging for various and sundry goods to head back to the mainland. Trade negotiations and such."
Would any of these trade goods be silver?
He's like,
Like,
"Oh, I
or-
don't know the details of his trade.
No, I meant like, are they taking the company back to the mainland?
And he's like, oh, he kind of says, and he kind of like rings the bell, and the boy comes up. He's like, watch the desk a moment. I need to speak with our guests here. I'll be not a moment. If any of our esteemed patrons needs me, come fetch me right away. But otherwise, just make sure nothing gets disturbed. And the boy's like, yes, sir, of course. And he's like, follow me. And he kind of leads you back to a kind of a side office. Brings you inside. Assuming you follow.
Yeah, I would also motion for everyone else to follow too.
Oh, yeah.
Well, once inside,
I don't know what's going on.
closes the door and he's like, sits down. He's like, sorry, we can speak a bit more freely here without listening ears. And he's like, yeah. I'm not sure how you you seem to have a good pipeline of information somehow. But yes, I believe Larrick is, or the Order has been commissioning Larrick to potentially provide ships for their passage home. I think that they're in the final stages of negotiations. But several of the Order, well, let's just say there's more of them leaving than they have ships to carry them at the moment. So I believe that
That's not good.
like, yeah, well, they'll be, my establishment definitely will take a drop in occupancy, that's for sure, but can't see, honestly, I'll be a bit sad to see some of them go. Those Inquisitor types are a bit unnerving, but some of the rank and file aren't so bad. Anyways,
Are they leaving because they found what they were looking for, or are they going with their tail tucked between their legs?
and he kind of shrugs. He's like, honestly, probably a bit of both, I think. They seem to be in a relatively eager position. They haven't had more of them come in from the jungle in a little while now, and I think I don't know. I think they're just ready to be on their way. Definitely, whatever's out there in the jungle definitely took a toll on their numbers. I'd say they've probably, by my estimate, not that I'm keeping tabs on how many of them go in and out of the port, but by my estimate, I would say probably at least a third of their number aren't going home again.
Wow.
He's like,
I'm sure the locals
and
would be.
he kind of shrugs and he's like, and that's not to say what'll happen to a lot of them on the journey. Many of them seem to have come down with that nasty sickness that's been killing people.
A shivering sickness? Or something else?
It's like, oh no, they don't seem to be bothered by those kind of things. Their clerics and paladins seem to be able to take care of that pretty easily, but no, that other thing, you know.
Oh, yeah, that one, yeah.
It's like, who knew that a religious organization of pious clerics and Templars had so many that have been brought back from the dead?
I mean, doesn't that kind of track, considering clerics and Templars are the ones who can do that in the first place?
He kind of gives you a look. He's like, yes, apologies, I should have been more forthright. That was my poor attempt at sarcasm.
Oh.
I think it was a wonderful joke. You know, pat him on the shoulder. You keep it up.
And he's like, oh, and
Is there an open mic night
Insight check
in Port Nyanzar?
on Jonah.
anyways, he says, yes, I don't know if you have business with Mr. Dashland. I believe you'll probably need to conclude that relatively quick. It's good that you have you finished or received what he's got needed, but I wouldn't expect. I mean, I think at this point it's just technicalities out of the way now, but I wouldn't expect them to be here for maybe a few 10 days at most before they leave. They seem to be
Okay.
pretty well prepared to head out.
And what do you know about Mr. Jones?
Like, kind of like looks at you, he's like, apologies, but what do you know about Mr. Jones?
You.
We know that's not his real name.
And he's like, and you know his real name?
Yes.
I
Say it at the same time. Like
Yeah,
artist Kimber Chan.
He's just kind of like looking at you. He's like,
AK's always a good friend of ours.
That's a C.
See,
AC.
yeah, yeah. And when you say, and he's like, okay, so you do know, okay. It's like, apologies. He's a very particular client of mine. I wasn't lying. He's not staying with us currently, but he has stayed on and off for many years. Before I ran the place, I mean, he's been staying here since I was a young boy. Probably before then, I would assume.
Still looks good for his age, though.
And he's like, yeah, Mr. Jones does seem to get
All that jungle
doesn't,
air.
doesn't seem to feel the passage of time as you and I would. And he kind of looks at Donegan and he's like, or well, perhaps. I mean, and he kind of like, he's like, I can never tell how old your people are.
I think he's like 800 or something.
Anyways, he says, yeah, he's been, he's here recently, but I don't know, I got the impression that he didn't want to stay long. I don't know. It's pretty typical of him, but he
didn't happen to mention where he was going.
He did not know. Him and that Saurian fella, they were here for just a couple days, then they took off. I get the impression that perhaps that they maybe had. He was very keen on not letting others know he was here. You seem to have already known this, but I think maybe someone was following him?
Yeah, if it was in the past few months, we ran into the people that were trying to find him because we ran into him.
Well, either way, nobody's been inquiring after him until you, so whoever's following him didn't trace him here, thankfully.
Yeah. Who was the lady we didn't like?
Zendala.
The one with the dragon? Zendala.
Zendala.
Oh, Zendala, yeah.
Has Zendala been in town?
Zendala. Sorry, remind me. Do I know that name? I don't know.
Did she stay here? I thought she stayed here.
Half elf?
Yeah, like high elf, half high elf. Likes to order people around.
Pretty young, like
Get very young.
late teens.
Freckles, right? Didn't she have or magical?
Kind of shakes his head. He's like,
Yeah.
doesn't match the description of anyone I know. No, I don't know.
Okay.
But I'll keep an eye out if I see this.
Good
Zendala.
chance if she appears in town, she might want to stay up here.
Okay. Good to know. And he would turn to you and Jonah, and he's like, "Oh, and by the way, rest assured that any of your correspondence that you had me has gone off across the sea. So,
Did I get anything back?
like, no, unfortunately.
Oh.
Not
Okay.
Not that I'm
Yeah.
not that's reached my desk.
I'm sure they're busy. You know, the mainland. So cosmopolitan.
He nods.
Time to write anymore.
How long was
Sending
our
off
trip?
birds.
our trip over here was like a month, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So it would take like 2 months
Like minimum.
if they sent it. Yeah.
If it was
Yeah,
like
exactly.
turned like they got the letter, wrote, and handed it back to the guy, it would take 2 months.
Yeah.
Support. Good. Yeah, that's it. That's definitely it.
There's plenty of time still, Jonah.
All right, you've been great. I will give him a gold.
He's like,
I will give him 10 gold.
he's just like, oh, it's really not necessary, sir.
No, this is actually for you. I'm glad you've always been very helpful to me. So I want you to know that you are appreciated. And one of the ways I do that is by giving people gifts. And I don't know what you like, so go buy something that you enjoy.
Very well, I will. Also, just so you're aware, Miss Underl, yes, she is staying here. She hasn't really left her room. In I would say the past. Oh, I rarely see her down through the lobby or leaving the building. I believe her. I don't know. I'll definitely make sure you get the message, or she gets the message from you. She's probably here now, but I don't know. I think it might be better if she met you.
Yeah,
back at your
just let her
place.
know that we're asking for her and give her some time to digest that. And that if she wants to come speak with us, that's her prerogative. I don't want to show up on her doorstep unannounced. So this is us announcing.
Okay,
You're in town and we would like to meet with our old friend.
excellent. All right. Well, I should really get back to my duties. If there's nothing else.
Nope, you've been great, as always.
Yeah.
He
This
leaves
is
you.
Quillen and Donna Quinn, by the way.
Hey, nice to meet you. Great place you got here.
Oh, hello.
Yes, always nice to meet more acquaintances of friends.
Blade Fangs.
Like, oh, are you still going by that?
It works.
The one that
Supposedly.
people seem to keep using.
Well, you might want to get back in the arena if you want people to keep remembering that name. Infamy tends to fade relatively quickly around here.
Great. Yeah, we definitely don't need to do that.
Is it
Oh,
an
that would be awesome. Maybe
an
some more zombies would show up.
Well, if you like, Kane is coming here to meet one of the Lord Commander of the Gilded Eye. She should be here tomorrow. I can put word in that you're looking for another match.
I mean,
Sure.
I'm in.
Are we though?
I'd do it.
Yeah, I mean, we can at least talk about it. I'm not saying we'll commit. Depends on, we might want like 10% of the gate this time.
He kind of smiles and he's like, "Well, I won't speak to anything in that regard. I'll just pass along that you might be in town looking for a name on the list."
All right. Thanks, pal.
Yeah, fair enough.
All right, and with that he lets you go. What's the second topic you guys are researching at the library?
Hey, it's back to us.
Back to the library.
I'm gonna look into Tamalka and the history of that settlement, if there's any information on it.
Okay.
And I will look into hags or like stories or legends of three hags, I guess. I don't know how else to put it.
It's Coven of Night Hags.
Yeah, whether there's just
All right.
legends and stories.
Looking for clues about what's happening to us.
Looking for some ladies.
Oh, you could also, Blackwind, I don't know if it would help your search, but do we think that she was Cassandra from that toy shop at one point? Or do we think she was just using the shop?
Esmeralda?
Esmeralda, that's what I meant. Sorry. I wonder. Just a thought.
Not sure, actually. actually.
Yeah.
Good.
I don't know.
Couldn't hurt to have in the back of your head while you're reading through stuff.
Yeah.
In my head,
All right.
zombie.
Let's do this. Better.
23. 18.
18 again.
Good old 18. All right, Tamalka. There is very little on Tamalka of any note. You do. There's really not a lot. There's not a lot of history. You basically just kind of reconfirm what you already knew. It's a small community in the Stormrack Mountains. There are some records of trade and that kind of thing, but they're relatively minor village. There's not really much to say. There's not much worth writing down as far as you can tell.
All right.
So
I don't know if this is connected to it or is it a separate search with Wainwright? The
Yeah.
name Wainwright.
there's absolutely nothing with that name.
Okay.
Some people just aren't worthy of being put into books.
Yeah, that's what I said. I just wanted that. But that's what this that would be a specific point. I was. Okay.
Yeah. And as far as hags and things, you would find, if you specifically ask about, or not ask about, but like research into like the Esmeralda's toys, you do find some records on that. There is a matter of public record. That shop was established during the Amnian rule, about 15 years ago. It went out of business probably about 4 years ago, officially. It shut down, declared bankruptcy, and was boarded up. But there's not really, it's just kind of like public record, like documents essentially on the property. It's not really any information about the ownership or any sort of, there's a few like tax records and things, but nothing that is worth really thinking about. Definitely no real connections or to any sort of hags or anything. There is one thing that does kind of stand out to you as you research. You do come across nothing really specific to any of your dreams or any of the imagery you've seen in your dreams, but there you do find, however, with an 18, it's not so much you find information, but you do find record of basically a previous visitor to the library that seems to, there is a record, apparently they keep records of who's researching what as well at this library. So when you guys are asking things, they're making notes of that, apparently, because that and you do find that apparently there was an inquiry that dates back about, do I have the timeline right? Anyways, I don't want to say a year because I can't remember if I got my timeline exactly right. But there is a record of a Mr. Nigel Witherby researching. Apparently, he spent a lot of money and resources researching the exact same thing: hags, covens of hags.
Is there any way to see what else he researched?
That's the extent of it. Seems to be all he focuses researches on. But it just happened to come up because when they were pulling the records looking for what you were looking for. It was just an interesting thing that the clerk basically noted and said like, oh, this is like the exact same line of inquiry. This other fellow, and he kind of would hand you. But there's nothing really there though. Like nothing that speaks to really anything that's going on, but yep.
But Mr. Withers,
Uh-huh.
I mean, because we know he's working with them. Like that's what the note from Blood King said. It said that he doesn't know why they bother with each other, kind of thing.
interesting.
Um. Sorry, I'm just thinking. One other thing, that is also interesting enough, is that it seems that these tenement buildings, including where Esmeralda's toys were, uh, he also looked into that as well. The same, like it was almost that's why it stood out so much, is because he looked in those two exact things, which is interesting because at the time that he looked into these buildings, that shop was not there, but he looked into the same addresses.
Oh, he looked into them before it closed 4 years ago?
No, he looked into before it
The
was
shop even
founded.
existed.
He looked into those addresses, but Esmeralda's Toys was founded after that.
Wonder if there's something hidden in that area that would, like how the ziggurats, that one might have been in the dump there, not with underground.
Yeah, it's possible that he looked into the locations to acquire them for the hex. Like maybe,
Sorry.
huh?
This
You know,
place
like
is in Malar's throat. Sorry, that's where you kind of pointed, or
No, it's
Or
these
it's
little
Place
buildings
we
right here.
went into.
oh, right
yeah,
there.
it's the buildings we were in this morning. Yeah, he said it says.
So the date,
Why does
timeline-wise, these dates correspond to when, obviously, in that note when he was here with Artis and Alessandra.
Yeah,
It's all during that time. So that was like 20-ish plus years
20-ish.
ago. Aelin was.
Yeah.
You guys were both born at this time, right? You were a little baby, and Aelin was very young. But it would have been when they were in port, basically during that time frame. So that'd been like 20-ish years ago. Like my timeline is right. But the founding was about 5 years after that, is when Esmeralda's Toys was founded, or was purchased and opened in that building. And then that was shut down like 10 years later. Roughly.
Okay.
This area right there that's higher than
Yeah, that's a hill.
this area.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So the walls are at the bottom of the hill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Towards that.
Okay.
Well, what time is it during the day right now?
Be about 4 now. What else did you guys want to research?
Next.
You got more topics?
I have more topics. Maybe the history of, if there's anything like of the old city on that, and maybe like this area specifically, or
So the history of the port area itself,
yeah, or of old,
like the city that was here before, or whatever.
yeah.
Cool. I like it.
Sure.
Which one do I come back tomorrow?
Oh, my luck ran out.
I am gonna look into the that
Sith?
cyst that the Blood King mentioned. Is what I would want. I would want to try anyway. It's probably the last one for today before we leave, so I figure throw it out there.
Okay. So cyst in connection with Blood King,
With
Tomo-chan, and all
vampire
that?
Blood King Tomo-chan, yeah, potentially undead as well, because
Sure.
we know it made them like attack a piece of it made them attack the town, so a potential connection to that.
Okay.
Man, roll, dead leg, fertile.
Nothing
I
yet.
think I'm lagging. Come on.
Well, while you're attempting to roll, Blackwind, you, I mean, there's not really a lot that you'll be able to find. I mean, there's plenty of knowledge. It's just like public knowledge. It's pretty easy to find, but nothing like really that is like revelationary. The port itself, obviously, the basic things like, you know, the whole Merchant Prince uprising, Amnian occupation before that, prior to like much of the modern port was built by the Amnians, so they reigned here for quite some time before being overthrown and replaced with the Merchant Council. Before that, though, like the bones of the city is like ancient, like Mesroan, Tabaxi tribe kind of stuff.
Oh.
So the
Good
port
bones.
itself was never an actual part of like the kingdom or empire of Mesro, not officially, but yeah, the old ruins are just like kind of are from around the same time as Mesro, so they must be like hundreds of years old as well. But it was never a major. The port was never a major settlement until the Amnians landed here and essentially built what's here now. Before that, it wasn't like of a major. It wasn't a major landmark in Chult. It wasn't like a major city or anything like that. So, 18. Not really a lot. The only thing you could really find, I mean, there's nothing essentially about any sort of cyst or anything. You don't really find anything that even alludes to that directly. Same with Blood King and stuff. There's not a hell of a lot to find. The only thing you would find, Tomo-chan itself is mentioned a few places. It seems to be an ancient shrine located in the temple city of Orlunga. You do find that what little information there is on that, it seems to have been dedicated, at least in part, to elemental deities. And the only other thing would probably be that there is some information that alludes to the fact that Orlunga itself was originally built by ancient people from known as the Olmecs that came across the ocean from Maztica, like way across the ocean to the east or to the west. I mean, they would have landed in like what would it be? Probably like Jahaka Bay area, coming across the ocean. So like across the Great Sea from Maztica, and then migrated north and founded the city of Orlunga. Potentially Umbala as well. Might have been this. Umbala would have come later. Orlunga's older than that. But yeah. But I mean, a lot of the people. In general, the thought is that the Tabaxi people are descendants from the Olmecs that came from Maztica. They're not native to Chult technically. Chult was here before there was humans at all. But other than that, there's not really any mention of Blood King. If there's a Blood King or like a cyst or any of that, that's something that's not in books. It must be a recent thing that's moved in.
Okay.
With an 18, just because of what you rolled for the Daijobi Senga earlier, I would say as well that there's enough parallels that you're fairly certain that the Daijobi Senga, the Heart of the Wild, Oralunga, Tomoe-chan, and the whole thing, like it all seems to be somewhat related. All the information dates to around the same times, and
Okay.
so there may be some connection there, if even tangentially, but nothing specific.
Okay. All right.
Alright.
Well, that'll put us up to like 6.
Probably be
So-
just 6 o'clock. If you're gonna meet back for supper time,
Yeah.
if you leave now,
probably.
you'd
You
be
got
back.
stuff you want to buy.
Well, right. I was gonna stop in the throne and do a few. I can't buy my spells. I have to take time to copy them directly if I want the
Sure,
discount.
okay.
So I'm gonna start tomorrow with that.
Do you want to put in for the meeting with?
That's exactly what I was gonna do. Put in with the mention, like for Wakanga, with the reasoning being found location of the airship that disappeared at that time. We know it. She knows. And then inquire about Jessamine's sanctions and how to find out which are active, like what are active sanctions before we leave.
Sorry, you kind of said a lot there. What exactly are you looking for? Just means sanctions, but before that?
Jessamine's sanction, the putting in Wakanga, Amita, putting our name on the list with the reasoning of finding the airship that we found, the location of his missing airship that from 2 months ago, if he's interested in that information.
Okay.
If he doesn't already have it.
Yep.
Just those 2 things before we leave for the day.
All right. As far as the looking into the sanctions, the sanctions are there. Well, as far as you can tell right now, there is no. It's not like an open bounty system.
Mm-hmm.
So, there's no postings, if that's what you're looking for like.
Well, no, I was gonna ask the person there was like a concierge type person at the Golden Hall who asks what you're here for and what you want, like that we leave the lists and stuff. I was gonna ask about the sanctions and how that works.
Yeah, essentially how it works is if you put you can apply for a sanction. If you're granted it, the person who applies for the sanction has the legal ability to follow through and kill that person without repercussion.
Okay.
It's not like a bounty that you put up that anybody can collect on. It's like you basically put in saying, I want to kill this fucker because of XXX, and they'll go through and go, okay, you have a valid case. It's worthy of being put to death. Go ahead, go to it. There won't be any. You won't be tried for murder by going after this and killing this person. It doesn't give everybody free reign to go kill that person.
That's not to say that you couldn't put a bounty on it, right? Like if you got the permission, then you say, "Hey, I'll pay 500 gold if someone can kill this guy."
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Once you have the ability to, you could hire people to do the dirty work for you. There's just no legal repercussion of you going after that person once you have a sanction agreed upon.
Okay.
But it
And
doesn't mean
is-
it's open season on that person for everybody. Like, it's not like, oh, this person's now anybody can go and kill Fabian. Anybody. It's kind of like, you know, a sanction put on Fabian would allow them to. Yes, they could put out a bounty and say, like, you know, wanted dead or alive Fabian. Somebody, whoever got the sanction, can do whatever they wish with it and hire people to do it. And
Okay.
technically, that could include putting out an open bounty letter, like dead or alive poster. But
I
it's
see.
not like there's a sanction on this person. Anybody can go kill him for any reason. That's not really how it works.
Are the who has a sanction on who? Is that public information?
No.
Okay.
The only time it matters is if that person is someone is actually killed. Depending on who killed them, they would basically, when it goes to, assuming someone's apprehended, blah blah blah, it would go to the courts, and if there's a legal sanction to do it, the case would be
thrown out.
dismissed. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Good to know. Okay.
Yeah, and for probably reasons you can probably understand, there is a reason why the sanctions aren't public knowledge. Because, you know, retaliation and shit. If you knew someone put a sanction on you, then it's like, well, I better kill them before they kill me, right? That's yeah. And that can lead to like gang wars in the streets and shit. So they keep
I wasn't sure if there was like general sanctions or if it was only personal ones, or if it was like, okay, we know this person is a murderer, the city has put out a sanction on it, so anybody can bring them in, sort of deal. I wasn't sure if it sort of covered multiples.
That would fall more under like wanted, like that would be more like a Canes. Yeah. Like the city guard puts out like a, you know, wanted poster or whatever. That's not the same as the sanction. Sanction is legal assassination being granted, whereas the rest of it, like just like, oh, this person's wanted by the police, essentially. That's more a Canes, like city guard kind of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So, so Kyra, is what you guys were gonna go check out that down by the gates, by the where the Sekula went in the water? Was that where you guys were gonna go after Kyra's?
I believe so.
Might
Yep.
as well. We're in the
In the
area.
neighborhood.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's a short distance away. I would say as you get to the Octopus Fountain Square, there are guards about, keeping people clear of the area, and you would recognize, there's probably about a dozen guards. There is a bunch of, maybe like a half dozen bodies with sheets on them. And you do recognize Soggy Ren. It seems to be talking to and seems to be questioning or talking to some like local Chultan people off to the side. But as you are walking towards the square, he would definitely, he kind of like sees you guys, and then you see him kind of like obviously excuse himself, talks to one of the guards. You don't really see what he says, but he points at the group of people he was just talking to, and the guard kind of like goes over and starts talking to them instead. And he kind of closes the distance as you get to the square. And he's like, well. If it isn't Mr. Aelin and Mr. Jonah, and a turtle and he kind of butchers Aarakocra.
Aarakocra.
He's like, you wouldn't happen to know anything about a bunch of dead Shakola worshippers here in this here square, would you?
First off, this is Quillen and Donnaquin.
He's like,
Pleasure
to make your acquaintance, Shurs.
And second off, I only knocked mine out.
Yeah, he has a...
And he smiles. He's like, so it was you.
Yeah, we got jumped coming back from the bathhouse last night.
These pieces of shit came out and tried to murder me and my friends.
He pulls out a little book and starts writing down. He's like, "This your official statement on the matter?"
No. Our official statement was we were at the bathhouse and we made it here safely home. Didn't see anything. No town guards either. That was really weird.
It felt. Donovan thinks it felt very personal.
There.
He feels personally attacked.
Yeah, they were. For once, it wasn't my sister and I they were yelling at. It was our new turtle friend.
Always picking on the outsiders, these guys, I tell you.
Yeah, they were.
Punch him down.
They were real pieces of work.
He turns the notebook around and it's just like a little like terrible sketch of like some stickmen. He's like, that look about right?
Yeah, definitely
Like-
paper truth.
He nods and he kind of like says pretty loudly. He's like, "Well, all right. Well, watch yourselves, strangers. There's a lot of bad stuff in town. Outsiders getting into trouble, obviously for the benefit of the other guards that's standing around." And he's like, and he says, "All right. I just got a few more questions for you." And he kind of like gestures you off to the side a bit.
Hello, Soggy.
He's like, "Okay, so is that true then? They attacked you just because you were with Turtle?"
Yeah.
We came out of the bathhouse, walked down this way, and out of nowhere, these guys popped out and started screaming some bullshit about
Offering the blood of the faithful.
the blood of the faithful.
Oh
Yeah,
no, that was the other
That
part.
was at the end.
That was
Yeah.
at the end. Sorry.
Oh,
And I
They were
knocked
just
a couple of them
screaming
out,
God
and
bless
they
them.
turned on each other, and or one of them was like started killing some of the ones on the ground. I don't know if they thought we were gonna like capture him and interrogate him or something, and they didn't want them to talk, or I don't know. I didn't expect that.
yeah, they brought out a huge like water creature from the fountain.
Yeah, we were actually gonna go. Blackwind followed them for a bit after one of them woke up, and they had a passage near the dye works that they went down and jumped into the water and got some big sea creature and went away.
I see. Well, that explains that then. He's like, well, he kind of like pats himself. Where the hell did I put it? Kind of pulls out of like this big bag on like satchel thing he's wearing. Kind of pulls out. He's like, oh, here, and he hands you just like this little scroll tube. He's like, I didn't have time to make more, but keep this with you. I have officially inducted you into my investigatory agency. Clevin said you needed some sort of cover to keep you out of trouble at night.
Yeah,
Just in case we end up getting caught out after dark.
Yeah,
we don't want to
smart.
hurt anyone else.
Good. Well, guys have been back in town for what, a day, and you're already killed a half dozen people?
Well, and we got some other bodies for you. Just one this time.
He's
It's
like,
really old. It wasn't us.
Well, technically two. There were technically two.
2 bodies. What's the second? Oh yeah, yeah, but that one was there's 2
He's
bodies.
like, geez, how many bodies do you guys come across?
Okay,
Yeah.
one is just unfortunate. The other one is interesting.
Yeah.
Fortunate and interesting. Sounds like a job I'd like to look into.
Yeah, so and I will tell them the location.
Yeah.
And there's
It's like, little child? He's like, it's always worse when it's a child. Adults, they're usually pieces of shit anyways, but kids, that's step too far.
do you know of any kids that have gone missing after visiting the bazaar?
It's like, kids got not lately, but you kind of.
Yep.
It's like, what? Do you have any more details? What kind of kids?
I'll describe 'em.
ages? Do you have names?
No names, but I'll describe what he looked like and give his age.
Can you do a disguise self or something like a minor illusion?
Oh yeah, I will tell him to wait 12 seconds, and I will alter myself to look like the little kid. No, I will not do that because magic's not frowned upon here.
I mean, you guys are.
Yeah, he doesn't care about magic. So I'll give
Yeah,
it.
okay. So then I will do that using a first level slot to make a potion, and I'll alter myself to look like the kid.
And
And then I'll go on. No, go.
But he kind of waits and he's like, "Wow, that's kind of handy. You can do that anytime you want." Anyway, it doesn't matter. I mean, cute kid, but doesn't ring any bells. How long ago was this? You said a while. Years? Months? Weeks? Days?
Don't know. And then I'll also make myself look like the lady at the stall. The stall? Like, not the...
And he kind of like takes a bit of a step back. He's like, "That's Esmeralda. I know her. You sure?"
Yeah, it was her toy store.
Well, that was
Esmeralda's Toys.
He's like, "Oh, but well, that must have been." He kind of thinks for a bit. He's like, "That must have been. Well, what was it? 6 years ago then? Really, that old? 6 years ago? Yeah, last time I spoke to Esmeralda. Nice old lady. I remember. Yeah, she got real sick and died. I think her sister took over the shop."
What was her sister's name?
It's like, "Oh, Peggy? I think it was Peggy."
Oh,
I
I said Haggy.
Peggy?
What?
Evil Haggy.
Coach Baratu.
He's like, "Nah, I'm
It
pretty
was
sure it was
Nighty
Peggy."
Night Hag.
Nighty Night Hag.
Evil McEvil Face.
He's like,
Like
"Yeah,
Peggy.
pretty sure it's
Totally
Peggy."
not an evil hag.
Peggy, I don't know her last name though.
Is she still in the city?
It's like, oh, I mean, I don't know if she was just a worse business person or what, but they haven't been around for like, yeah, it must be half a decade now. That was a while back. It's like, come to think of it though, it's like, yeah, you asked about kids, nothing recently, but I remember. I can't see. I've been here a while. I've been here since about 8 years. I've been here since I came over from the Sword Coast. Just after the Amnion, the whole thing. Once that settled down, I came here looking for a fresh start. You know, leave my worries behind and all that. But I remember, yeah, I worked a couple of missing persons cases back then. Yeah, there were some kids, a string of them, maybe 6, 7. Never did catch the bastards who did it. Maybe this is one of them.
Well, there's a body back there. So,
I think there might have been
bones.
There might have been another incident that involved an altar and a straw doll.
What are you talking about? Are you talking Yanti shit? Like blood sacrifice and all that? They're into that shit.
Maybe. I don't know.
I knew it. I knew it. Bloody Yanti.
It's the woman in the vision that I saw with the burlap sack. I wouldn't have been able to tell that the things underneath the burlap sack were snakes, right?
But you would have described her to us, and we've seen that before, or one of us has.
Yeah, I mean, whatever's under the hood moving around is, you don't know. Nobody knows what that is. Nobody's seen that.
I thought we knew it was snakes.
No.
I think that's been me, and I don't remember that. But I think we assumed it was snakes.
Yeah, it's not that crazy of a thought, and Yanti would make sense, but I don't know for sure.
Like, well, I better get over there right away. If you busted it open, we'll have squatters in there anytime. They'll contaminate the whole damn place. I'd like to do my own investigation. So, yeah, if there's nothing else for me, we'll link up again later.
Back to that time period. Do you remember anything? This may sound weird, about a baboon.
A baboon, like a monkey.
Yeah.
I mean, there's baboons in the jungle. I don't. No, baboons. I don't know. What are you getting at, Jonah?
Oh, I think the kid was turned into a baboon.
He's like, they say I've been drinking. You been drinking? You on drugs, son?
Deception check.
Visibly sweating.
Drugs? I've never heard of a drugs.
This investigation writ thing you've given us. I mean, we're gonna have to just have that with us. If anybody's like, we can't just say, "Hey, we're part of Soggy's investigation."
Well, I mean, you can say it, but then they might have to detain you to double check your story. That you show them that, they'll know.
Sure. So stick together if we're out after dark.
He's like, yeah. I mean, go ahead and make copies of it if you want, but I didn't have time. Got shit to do, murder investigation first thing this morning got me out of bed earlier than usual.
Have you talked to Poe recently?
Yeah, on occasion I get out to the old city. Yeah, I heard what you did. Clevin filled me in. Good on you. Taking care of that mess out there.
Is there any other messes in the city that you need help with, or?
Gosh, shit. I mean, you solved the serial murders in the city. You killed the undead. I mean, you seem.
We solved
Man,
this crime.
maybe you should be. Maybe I should be your deputies. Jesus.
I like that.
He's like, no, I mean, there's just, there's just an uptick in crime, all the city's, all the undead people coming in, especially from Tigiriki, Anchorage, the kind of shorts that live out there. They're in the city more than usual, so, but nothing really. Nothing you need to concern yourself with. We got it under control.
Warehouse with the portals. Do you have any men watching it?
He's like, yeah. Day and night? At least we should.
Did they not report to you when we arrived?
They did not. No.
Yeah,
Clevin mentioned that too. I've got another man on it now, but there should have been someone there. I haven't been able to track him down, but I'm looking into it. Maybe someone. Maybe. I mean, you arrived 2 nights ago?
Yeah.
So last report from him was about 3. What he reports in every couple days usually. There's been no activity there for weeks. So we used to report every night, but since then it's been every couple days. So if he wasn't there 2 nights ago, I haven't heard from him since the night before that. So 3 days now I haven't heard from him. But I got another man watching it now.
Well, I think we told Clevin, but if you need to reach us, we'll be at the Thundering Lizard like usual.
Yep. Will do. Alright, well, I'm gonna head on over to the Grand Souk. I better get legging it. I'm gonna get there before dark.
Hi, Sagi.
And
Good
he
Nice
kind of nods to you all, and he turns
Nice.
to the. He's like, "All right, boys, wrap it all up here. Seems like it was just a matter of self defense. My deputy here points at you guys. They got some reliable intel. Let's clean up this mess and let these people go about their business. I'm heading over to the souk." And he points at 2 guys. He's like, "You two, follow me." And he kind of like wanders off. Kind of looks back and just kind of gives you a wave as he walks off, slightly unsteadily.
I like that guy.
Helen, do you think he's on to me?
Jonah's still sweating
Yeah.
profusely.
I think he knows. He knows.
Oh
that-
no.
He knows
I'm gonna
that
have to
it was
run
us
for it.
last night.
Okay.
The only way I could ever get over this anxiety is more drugs.
Yeah, so the picture I put in the main channel, that's the reason, Corey, when you posted the picture of the hags, you said she looks like this, but ignore the snake coming out of it.
Yeah,
So-
We
ignore
did
the
the
snake.
opposite.
We remembered the snake.
Ignore this very specific feature. Whatever you
Yeah,
do,
it
don't
was-
latch onto that.
Yup.
All right, you guys move on along your way. Back back in the library. Are you guys? So you were. Oh no, you did what you need to do. So you guys are. You're heading back to the inn for supper, kind of thing.
I think so. I'm assuming 6 is supper time, not 8. I don't know.
I mean, you
Like,
probably.
'cause it's like an hour back, right? So,
Probably.
Pass window.
do we eat at
Some-
7 or 9?
Has
I guess it's the question
time.
of is
I don't know.
Yeah.
Sometime between 7.
Does it
and 8.
matter?
It doesn't really matter.
Sometime in the evening.
no. My point is if we were like, yeah, let's get back here about 9 to eat.
Hmm.
That's another 2 hours research.
I would
Well,
say
9 is not supper time.
Yeah, that's too late.
Well-
That's also past curfew, so
Is for me.
There.
I'm assuming you guys would want
Okay.
to be back before the curfew. So
That makes sense.
Then we would head back. We've got time though. If there's anywhere you want to stop, right on the way back.
Get
No,
your
not
clothes.
really.
Fancy
Yeah,
clothes
just-
and the grand suit.
Through the souk. Pick
okay,
up stuff and head back.
sure. So yeah, you guys go to climb down that path. Make
Gotta find Blackwood's trap.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, make a perception check. See if you locate his trap.
Oh, we'll locate it one way or another.
Okay,
Well,
23.
Krillin, thank God.
Yeah,
I would have probably given a pretty good idea where it would have
Yeah.
been, but
but with those rolls, would they be able to find it even with that instructions? But with a 23 for sure. I'm pretty sure you rolled fairly well on this.
I
to
actually
hide
don't
it.
even think you had me roll.
Didn't I? I thought I did. Anyways, yeah, you're able to find and avoid the trap in the tidal pool. So I mean, there's no sign of anything here. You just water, ocean. You know roughly where Blackwind said, about 100 yards offshore. You can't see
and-
anything from here but water.
To that notion, Donaquin would like to, and he'd tell you guys this was his plan. He would like to wild shape into a reef shark to swim out there and
Ooh.
investigate the area.
Sure.
I picked reef shark because I know that's something that's within his. He said like shark or octopus, something that can breathe underwater was his specific notion. Maybe a shark or octopus. So I know reef shark is. He just couldn't remember off the top of his head what forms he had available for that he would know for swimming.
Well, but before he does that, I'm going to cast Enhance Ability on him.
Cool.
And I will give him Fox's Cunning, which will give him advantage on intelligence checks for an hour.
Intelligence.
Well, if he's investigating.
I guess it depends. Yeah, investigation versus perception. I guess is the two.
Maybe.
I'm assuming he's going to be looking around closely at stuff.
And I'll give him a minute of guidance.
Okay.
Look well.
To Donna Quinn.
All right.
Yeah, Resharp has a better swim speed and more hit points than Octopus, so I think that's probably what he would go with.
Well, he'll come back after a short time. Reef sharks are pretty fast, actually, so it wouldn't take him long to go down there, investigate, come back, and he would let you know that as suspected, there is a one of the coral gates is on the seafloor down there, just off the edge of the land shelf, where it gets just before it gets into the deeper water. And yeah, so that must be what the Sokola have been using. He didn't go in it because he has to use one of his coral gems if he activates it. So
Yeah, he
that's
does.
a
he
permanent
knows how to
thing.
activate.
So
My question was if he knows how to use it. But,
Yes,
like,
that's
is-
how
Yeah.
he traveled
Okay,
to
gotcha.
the north.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's got
He's
three
he's only got 3 gems, and it requires one to use permanently to activate the gate. So until he's ready to actually go through it, he's not going to use it. So he didn't go through the gate at all, but he did confirm that it is there. Didn't see any sentries about or anything guarding it on this side of the portal, but that doesn't necessarily mean that there isn't right on the other side, inside.
And to activate the gate, is that like one activation per person?
No.
I believe it's 1 stone to open it, and we as a group could move
I see.
it.
And it's permanent. I believe.
It's permanent. It gives the permanent ability to use that gate. So
I see.
Oh, okay, so it's not 1 time.
no,
No,
but
you
it's
can-
permanent. And he's only
3
got
gates.
3. So.
Yeah, so it's permanent to that gate. So overall, he gets to choose 3 gates that he has access to.
Yeah, he's unlocking the gate with these stones. Those stones are the keys. Did he see a big eel that looked mean swimming around, or?
No. He was specifically looking for any sentries or anything like that, and didn't see any Sokola worshippers, no Sahagin, no hostile-looking wildlife in the vicinity either. But he didn't stray too far from the gate itself. Like, he didn't go off like hundreds and hundreds of meters and look around, because he knows that there are sea serpents and monsters that have nothing to do with the Sokola potentially out in the ocean, so he's not going to go out and risk getting killed out there, even in
Who
shark
might
form.
want to-
Lots of fish and
bullshit.
wildlife, but nothing that stood out to him as like overtly dangerous between land and the gate, or guarding the gate, that seemed obvious.
Okay, well, good to know. Maybe I should work on my alarm device. We can put an alarm around it sometime.
Yeah, that's not a bad thought.
You guys have anything else you want to do, or we want to? I'm getting sort of hungry.
Is the dye works open?
You want to check?
Yeah.
It is open. The man that was there doesn't seem to be around.
I hope he. I wonder if he died or ran.
There are workers and people, but this isn't really like a
Like a
it's
shop.
Yeah, it's not really a shop. It's more of like an industrial kind of work,
Okay.
workshop kind of thing.
You just said it
Yeah.
wasn't a shop.
No, there was a desk thing, and you like I bought ink, special ink when I was there, magical ink, but it's not like a storefront.
Yeah, you would buy it from the souk or wherever they or whatever merchants they work with.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
You want to talk to him, Aelin?
He's not here.
Want to talk to the new guy?
Nah.
You want to just go back and meet? Okay.
Yeah, let's just head back.
Okay. Well, around supper time, you guys find yourselves back in the Thundering Lizard, probably around, we'll say 8 o'clock. By the time all of you are back. And there's delicious dinner. The common room is full of peoples, but by about 8:30 they start trailing out, and by 9, other than the patrons who are staying there, just like previous nights, it's relatively quiet.
I mean, Andro would show up.
Yeah, no messages for us.
You would receive. Oland has a message from, and he would hand it to you. It's from Clevin, and basically all it says is that just in very kind of brief, very vague terms, but you know what he's talking about, so you can understand what he's saying. But it basically says that Soggy, I mean, essentially tells you that he's talked to Soggy and he's got the thing. You've already ran into him by going down there, so you already have that. But the other thing too is you have an appointment tomorrow at noon to meet with Zanthi.
You're the
that's great.
worst. So I guess we're blowing off Lyric.
I mean, we can send one person.
Yeah, Zanthi has agreed after. Yeah, but he doesn't have really any other details. But yeah, he's secured a meeting with Zanthi. Apparently, that was much quicker than you expected. Maybe she's eager.
Also, do you guys want to get in a fight? Are we going to do the arena again?
Oh yeah.
I look at Blackwind. You going to lead us some gladiatorial bouts?
Oh, maybe.
I'm in for sure.
Yeah. Apparently, Akane is going to be stopping by. Kairos has to repose tomorrow, and our friend at the desk was willing to put our names forward as being interested.
You know, if we're gonna keep going with Blade Fangs, we could be Baz's Blade Fangs.
Baz loved Blade Fangs.
It's cute. It's B. It's alliteration.
But then everyone's going to be like, well, which one's Baz? And we'll be like,
no.
well,
We fight for Baz.
yeah, that's my point. Is we're going to have to explain that every time.
I still think, I think, I really liked the name Sticks and Stones at one point, but now it just feels wrong.
Seems a little on the nose.
6 and a lot of stone.
Well,
And a big stone.
Well, it was and Stone before, because Gerald. Now it's Stones. Gerald and Baz.
The Rolling Stones.
Okay. Well,
I
what
mean,
did you guys find? I assume you guys tell us everything.
yeah, not too much, a little bit.
Crazy that the hags were preparing those properties before there was stuff there.
Well, at least Nigel was looking into the properties. So was he looking into the properties for the hags? Because we know
Was
that
he,
the hags
why else
work
would
with
he?
him. So
he was looking for the hags?
and that's what I mean. Like, was he
on their behalf?
on their behalf?
Or he was looking because the hags did him wrong, as hags are known
They're
to
working together. That's the thing. We know they're working together, or at least in some capacity, the hags are putting up with him. It was the exact wording. I
Oh.
don't know why the sisters put up with him. He says sisters, which technically I guess could mean not the hags. That could be. Oh no, it is the hags. Yes, sister, the hags. So is that this Peggy and Esmeralda and a third? Like, are they
Probably.
actual real sisters too? That
Well, I wouldn't be. Maybe they're not real sisters, but if they were in the city, I bet that's what their cover story was.
So that's 2 out of 3. Name wise. Not that that's necessarily their real names. It's something to call them other than hag, bag lady.
Aggie.
So, Donovan and Blackwind, tomorrow, do you guys want to go meet my raptor? I hear you guys probably talk to him. See how he's doing.
I think Donovan would. I think he said he was down for that. But he was
Blackwind, do you want to go, or do you have...
In the
Sure.
morning.
What depends what we end up getting up to.
Sure.
I guess. But
Yeah, well, we've got the meeting at noon, but then everything
Oh,
else.
yeah.
and the
Whatever.
meeting at noon.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if anybody's going to meet with Lyric, it should probably be me just because of the map, but I'm not sure anything will
Wait,
come
wait,
of
wait.
it, but-
Wait. Map? What happened to the other map?
What do you
Isn't
mean?
you
We
looking for 2?
Yeah, but we haven't gone to Oralunga yet.
We haven't gone... Oh, I forgot.
the point was to check in with him just to make sure he still was interested in having them. And seeing if somebody else had completed it, just as a head, just to see if he was still here and still
Do you
interested.
think you could like do like a fake one, like tonight?
Jonah, what has gotten into you?
I'm not killing anybody. I'm just making some fake maps.
I just want that sailing ship, damn it!
We have such good
We
luck
already
with
have
them.
a sailing ship.
Yeah, that's
We
true.
have a collapsible boat.
Your folding boat can actually become a ship.
Yeah, we don't need more. I was thinking of selling it. That was what I
Oh,
wanted to
well
do.
then, yeah, whatever.
Well,
Okay,
it's
that's not as
not
important
a
then.
ship and more a lot of money.
Yeah, we could always just have someone like just say we only have one of the maps.
That's what I mean. I guess.
So we can get
Doesn't
half a
matter.
boat.
No, I think more of just an update, and it seemed like nobody else had fulfilled his request.
Yeah, and it's
So-
possible just because he's going and if he's selling ships and if he's heads out with the eye, that doesn't mean he won't be back and won't still be interested when he comes back.
I
But-
don't even know if he's going. Seems
I
like-
don't know, and that's sort of the info I was looking to.
Or he might be selling our ship.
Well, it's possible,
That's
but
probably what's going to happen, right? Got a spare ship around. Got a rich
He gets a
customer.
crew though.
That's true. Yeah, but got an army full of crew here.
I mean, worst case, he sells the ship and leaves. We're still planning on going to Orlunga, so it's not like we're going out of our way to make his maps for him.
It's good. So maybe we just blow him off.
I think we'll
I-
just send a message.
I mean, if
Or
he
we could
is still
show-
interested, I don't want to blow him off.
How about we show up early? We explain the situation that we got called by one of the merchant prince, so we're blowing you off. But here's the thing: we can reschedule for later, or you can just know that we have one of the maps. We don't really have to have this meeting. But if you want the meeting, we'll do it later in the day. Because you're
I
not as
mean,
important as a merchant prince.
I don't see why I just write a letter. I don't know, but that's just me.
Yeah, that's what I'm. Yeah,
I just don't want to insult him.
I mean, if you
yeah,
want,
no,
nah, never mind. I was gonna say I'll meet with them because I'm not sure I would know what to say to Xanthi. This is Xanthi?
Yeah.
Sorry,
But-
just to interject.
But never mind. I do want to be there.
I was gonna say it's like your primary mission.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was like. No, actually, never mind.
yeah. Let's just go to Repose in the morning. Say we have to reschedule. Give him an update. We got one of the maps. If you want to meet with us, we have to reschedule. To like
Alright.
12:30.
No, not 12:30.
We're halfway through our meeting
Yeah.
with Xanthi.
They're
we gotta run.
early.
We've got back-to-back meetings here, Xanthu. Let's wrap this up.
Yeah. You don't
Our
know how
time is
busy we are.
valuable.
Snap, snap.
I mean,
Yeah.
she is eager to meet us, so we do sort of hold some cards.
Well, we also work for her.
Oh yeah, that's right too.
And
Any?
yeah.
Anything else you guys want to do tonight? I mean, curfew's coming up, so. I mean, you have
Yeah,
the thing. You can be out after curfew now.
Yeah, we've got this
True.
thingy. But we've only got one, so
Yeah.
Yeah, do we want to establish some guidelines or rules for how we use this thing? I'm gonna go out.
Do you want me
tonight.
just to spend the night copying it?
Oh, you can do that. Sure.
couldn't hurt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could
sure.
try and
Copy this official document, but don't copy my map. Fine. Or make up my map.
Soggy said we
Oh,
couldn't make copies.
fake or a Lunga map. I see.
I keep going down the difference. Gotta get his ship before he leaves.
Yeah.
What? Nope, I think it's good. I think we're done for the evening.
Yeah. I'll spend my evening making copies
Sure.
and burning all of the replacing, like, my backpack with the new backpack, etc., and burning all the cloth that I had in all my bags and stuff.
I just like threw mine away.
Well, I'm more vigilant than you are, apparently, brother. Also, you
Like-
found your thing. I didn't find one, which worries me more.
Right, but what are they gonna do? Scry on an empty alley?
They'll haunt the alley. All right.
They
Well,
won't.
you can make copies easy. You don't have to do any rolls for that. That's easy. You have that memory thing, right?
I do.
And it's a very straightforward document. It's not a super complicated thing. So you can make copies. You guys don't get haunted tonight in your dreams, so that's a good thing. Archie, you will
Yay.
now be up to 28 hit points with 5 wounds in the morning when you awaken. Jonah, you'll need to make a con save for Uriah Root.
Is this a long rest?
It will be.
Okay, I need to do 2 new potions too. Okay. And
Nobody flew.
we got one back, so if anybody want to keep that flying one, I can give you a new one.
I don't know. It would be.
Nope, you're keeping the.
Jonah,
I didn't pick one.
Jonah must be
right.
building up a tolerance. He's not poisoned in the morning.
Yeah, I'm feeling good today. I'm not going to take the riot fruit. I don't need no riot fruit. I'm good. Jonah's good with who Jonah is.
Excellent.
Until I need to party again.
Well, I have a bad day, and then
other Jonah comes out.
another Jonah comes out.
On the 5th day, 15th of Myrtle, you awaken. Oland is down polishing glasses when you eat breakfast. You have a few hours before your meeting with Xanthi. What would you like to do?
I guess a chance.
Yeah, you guys should all come meet Chance.
I would actually like to go to the Golden Throne early.
Okay.
I do want to see Chance, but I want to get this out of the way in case something pops up and I don't get the.
I'll go with you. I wanted to swing by the Grand Souk, so I'll just head up that way and then split off when we get there.
Oh, okay. Is there anything you guys want to say to Chance?
Tell him, scratch him behind the ear, his not ear, of the back of the head, and tell him he's a very good boy.
Will do.
Yeah, tell him to don't eat anybody. Minus points.
Yes, absolutely.
Only eat your food non-lethally.
Non-lethal food.
And don't eat people. I think it's.
Don't eat people. Great advice.
So, Jonah, Donna Quinn, and Blackwind are going. What's Quillen doing?
I'm going with Jonah.
Okay, so the 4 of you. Archie and Aeland will head off to Golden Throne, and I stop at the souk along the way.
Yeah, I'll be probably just in the souk.
Alright. Archie and Jonah, roll d20s. Do it.
I mean, it's technically done, but whatever, it's me.
Donna Quinn wins. Why is Donna Quinn rolling? Okay, that's Archie.
It depends on who I'm clicked on at the time.
Alright. Anything particular at the souk? Nothing really occurs today as you're traveling. It's just similar scenes that you've seen before. Nothing really stands out. Once again, no Sokola worshippers at the fish fountain. Going through the souk, it's busy as per usual this time of day. Lots of morning commerce going on. Anything particular?
Nothing in particular. More just there's some intricate things that I wanted to get with my fancy clothes, so I figure it would I would put in the request the previous day, and then I would be kind of fulfilling it and picking it up today.
Okay, sure.
And then I might swing by the jewel market for a bit.
Okay. You want to do that first, or again, because it's kind of on the way, I suppose. It's a little out of the way, but
First, before going to Golden Throne?
Yeah, because you got to go
Yeah,
past.
yeah. I'll meet my sister at Golden Throne later.
Okay, so you'll split up.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So Archie heads past the Temple of Gond through the gate there. Aelin goes to the market. Meanwhile, out in Cherokee Anchorage, the other party members have... You've made your way through the Cherokee Gate without much incident. There is... the Cherokee Anchorage, there is a bit of a... you'll notice as well out here. It seems a bit more lively than last time you guys were out here. There's a lot more people on the road, like waiting to get in and stuff. Caravans and stuff with beasts of burden, mainly dinosaurs, kind of like waiting to bring like carts of stuff. It looks like a lot of people have like personal belongings. Maybe they've come from out in the jungle somewhere. As you make your way down, you find yourself at the dinosaur pens. And here, as you come up to the gate, you'll notice that there is a large contingent of guards at the gate, city guards. And as you're entering, or as you come up to the gate, a very large man, you've actually recognized this man. He's about... he's almost the size of Baz. Kind of got like kind of like a grayish skin, with kind of like white, kind of like almost like stripes. You're not sure if it's paint or tattoos. But you recognize him. You've seen him before. He's got a big maul on his back, in kind of like basic armor, like leather armor. He's a Goliath or half giant. And you also see that's around where these other guards are. There's probably another like 10 or so of various mercenaries. They're not really in uniform, but they're obviously like hired muscle. And he kind of walks up, and he's like, and kind of like looks at the four of you as you come closer, and he's like, so you're back in town. Good to know. And he kind of like points back. He's like, you'll have to wait unless you've got pressing business.
Oh, why?
He's like, and he kind of like nods at you, and he's like, yeah, Ethan's doing a inspection, so it's going to be closed until he's finished here.
How long?
Like, that's up to him.
Well, of course. Well,
Wait, he's here personally doing an inspection?
He nods. He's like, yes, he does own these pens after all.
Oh, interesting.
Why is that interesting?
I just thought that, big trade prince, he'd probably get, someone else to do it for him.
Well, the way I hear it, Ethan knows dinosaurs like the back of his hand. He likes to see them himself. Raised him, That's his whole background. That's what I hear.
does he have a favorite type of dinosaur? Or favorite pet?
He's like, honestly, I don't give a shit. You guys, you have anything important to, or are we done here?
Oh, no, we're just gonna go see our dinosaur.
Like,
I have a dinosaur as well.
He's like, well, you'll have to come back, because till this is done, you're not getting in.
But, can I take my dinosaur out?
He's like, he kind of like sighs. Like, okay, I'll tell you what. I'll give you guys a couple minutes maybe think about how badly you want your dinosaur right now, or if you would come back in, I don't know, an hour or so. But he kind of like glances over his shoulder at the close to 20-ish armed men. He says, unless you think there's some sort of problem here.
Wait, no, I don't think there's a problem.
So good, get out of here.
No, I thought you were going to go get my dinosaur. You gave us a choice. You said literally, go get our dinosaur or wait. I'm choosing the first one.
I'm gonna step forward and just sort of be like, listen. I mean, we've been gone for a while. Buddy hasn't seen his raptor in a long time. We're gonna be in and out. It's not gonna be a big deal, and I'm going to put out my hand to shake his, and I've got 10 gold in my hand.
He knows how to bribe people.
I'm so glad I'm not there.
Make a persuasion check.
Oh my god.
I'll use my
Guide
inspiration.
him on bribing people. And call Stockhouse. Maybe it is.
That's so bad.
He takes the gold, kind of looks you up and down. He's like, well, at least someone knows how this town works, right? All right, we won't pummel you very badly for not taking a fucking hint and leaving. So that'll pay for your hide. Now get the fuck out of here.
Oh, okay. An hour, you said?
That should be done by then.
Okay. Well, thanks for being nice. What was your name again?
Like, Roka, don't forget it. Tell your friends.
We forgot last time. It won't happen again. Promise.
Like,
Roka.
Oh man. Guess that doesn't actually work here. Weird.
I think it depends on the situation.
You're not there.
No, but Donequin is, and I feel like
Oh.
that's what he's saying.
He's
He's very, he's very chill. I mean, I don't want to speak for Sean. But he's
I feel like
watching.
Donequin would be like, very unpleasant man.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like it might work
did
on
not
somebody
like
who's nice, but it takes him a minute to study. Is it a minute to study things for his shaping? Is that how it works? I wasn't sure how long it took. He's so angry.
Can I see Chance?
I mean, you can kind of see like past the like it's all gated, right, with like high fences and stuff. You can see like various like workers and dinosaurs milling about. Give me a perception check, see if you can actually locate Chance.
Perception check. Come
Because
on.
bearing in mind that these dinosaurs are pretty big, like it's a big space. With
Did that roll? No, of course not. It was natural 20, and it did not go in the box.
Oof.
Of course.
actual
Of
20 didn't go
course,
in the box.
Jesus.
I believe you, John. Now, you're looking out. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of dinosaurs, and there's a lot of people, and a lot of smaller pens, and like outbuildings and things too. You don't see any raptors really that stand out. Mostly this main area is full of like larger beasts of burden, triceratopses, and larger those big long-necked ones, things that we use for like moving heavy things. So between all of them, you don't really see you don't see him. But last time you were here, he was kind of like further back, like he was like back in this pen here. So he might maybe still be there. They kind of keep the meat eaters separate from the herbivores, right? Okay.
I guess we're going to wait, unless you guys want to go sneak in. I mean, that's the guy we're supposed to be following anyway. Or do you guys want to wait? I'll leave it up to you guys.
I mean, I'll do whatever you want, but it seems like probably the smarter thing is for us to just.
I mean, what is an
Black-
hour in I feel like Donequin,
Blackwin?
like in terms of time.
Yeah.
difference is it?
Yeah,
An hour's,
especially-
an hour's
or an
nothing
hour?
to him.
Yeah.
He's so
Like
old.
for him, an hour is like a moment in time.
Mm.
Okay. You guys are
Donovan
right.
votes
What's
to wait.
another hour? I've waited months for this.
All
We're
right.
also supposed to be like following that guy, right? What's he doing in the pins?
We're following this guy.
I mean, he owns them.
Yeah, but why would you show up with all this like?
We're not actually following him ourselves.
Yeah, but I mean, why is he here with all this force? Is this how he normally travels, or is he expecting trouble?
As we're sort of like leaving, I'm just gonna be glancing around, trying to see if I can get a sense of, like, like listening, see if I overhear any chatter about, what Yvonne's doing here, that sort of thing.
Sure. Not really. I mean, outside the gates, just people moving about their business. You can see people moving around inside the gates, but there's not really any chatter to be heard.
All right.
The anything particular at this gem market, Aelin?
I would look if it's easy enough to just trade with gems that I have. I would like to find a ruby of similar value to like one of the 50 gold gems that I have. If not, I would just buy one.
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
A small ruby is apparently a small ruby is worth 1,000.
Oh fuck.
A normal ruby's worth 5,000. I don't think you're gonna find much. You can. What's a star ruby? That's 1,000 as well.
I know there
Yeah,
are small ones.
rubies
'cause
are
one of
definitely
the-
expensive gems. Like rubies, emeralds, diamonds typically are super expensive. You could probably find like a really like a small, like a tiny one, or maybe one that's slightly less
Yeah.
like pure.
Instead
for
of that,
50?
yeah, like I would take like the junkies because I'm planning on shattering it anyway.
Okay.
Yeah,
Actually,
Yeah,
what
you-
about ruby dust? Honestly, I could just start with ruby dust.
Ruby Dust is
Sure.
a spell component for continual flame, so that may factor in to it being available.
Yeah, I think you can find how much. Yeah, ruby dust you could buy. And see, the thing about ruby dust is you could buy like a quantity of it, right? So they would just kind of weigh it out to get 50 gold worth, however much that is in weight.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Yeah, that would work. I won't worry about trading. I'll just buy that.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. And Liz, you were doing spells. You want to do spells?
Yeah, I
Or
wanted
is
to see if they had some spells available to copy in my spell book.
Sure. What are you looking for?
Well, but how much time do I have before? Like, right?
Well-
Like, how long? Like, what time roughly did we get up here?
You probably have like. By the time you get up here, you didn't stop in the market. You probably have. It's probably like 9 right now, ish.
Okay, so only about 2 hours. Okay.
Well, 3.
Well, but I don't want to. I don't want to finish my copying at noon if the thing is at noon and it takes
Sure.
an hour per spell level. So I'll just look into. Can I see if they have alarm and identify available?
Yeah. Can't remember. Did I roll for this last time? It's been like months and months since I did.
I know there was you mentioned something about not everything being available all the time, so I think there was some kind of rolling involved, but I do not recall exactly what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was the
Oh,
same with the
yeah.
potions.
Yeah.
Oh, and I'd probably check in to see what potions were available as well, just in case anybody was interested while I'm
Oh,
here.
nice. So yeah, they have identify. Apparently that didn't work. Apparently I can't hit the box either.
Oh,
Yeah, they have alarm.
Cool. Okay, I will scribe those two. And then just
what
see
kind of
what...
potions are you looking for?
I'm not looking for anything specific, but I know they keep certain ones on hand. And that was another thing you rolled for, so... But, like, last time they had greater healing, resistance, water breathing, and hill giant strength. But you said there was a rotation, so I just wanted to see if there was anything different for... if anyone was available.
Well, you can pick up normal potions of healing, if you want.
Mm-hmm. Is there any other common potions available as well? Like last time, climbing was a common potion.
Yeah, climbing is available.
Okay.
Climbing and there is a potion of cold resistance. It's 500 gold.
Okay.
And there's a potion of there's a potion of superior healing as well. For 500. So there is some potions.
Okay. When I was first here and inquiring about the potions, they said they could commission common potions and they take a day. What are the common potions that you could get commissioned?
Potion of healing, potion of climbing. Those are the only common
Those
potions.
are the only common potions. Okay.
Yeah, that's why they're usually almost always available, those two.
Okay. I wasn't sure if there was any other options. Okay. Cool. Thank you. I'll spend the next 2 hours
Scribing.
adding to my spellbook. Yep.
Cool. All right. Well, while you guys are doing that, you guys are hanging out. Probably about 40 minutes passes before there's obvious commotion in and around the dinosaur pens, and you see a large, it looks like an Allosaurus come lumbering out. It has on its back what looks to be some sort of like almost like a carriage kind of thing sitting on its back. Comes lumbering through, and about 25 or so guards, about 12, kind of making a rough ring around the Allosaurus. About an even mix of mercenaries, obviously led by Roka, but the rest town guard kind of like start like wandering, and they move past you on the road towards the gate. Roka kind of obviously sees you, and he kind of like gestures with his thumb towards the gate.
I'll flip him a copper piece.
He doesn't even attempt to catch it, just bounces off of him. It lands in the mud.
Play more where that came
he
from.
He just kind of like snorts. He's like,
No.
You didn't call it.
Yeah, that's true. Let's go see Chance. I will get up and I'll start running towards the dinosaur pens.
Alright. You are met by workers who seem to be just overall relieved. They're just kind of like chatting and smiling. One guy who you recognized from last time you were there looks over, he's like, "Oh hey, look who it is, Jonah. Welcome back. We were wondering if you had died out in the jungle."
Oh yeah, I bet. I probably owe you some money for the boarding fees, right?
Do you? Yes, I think so. Let's look at our records and collect that.
I will give him whatever money. I will give him.
I mean, yeah, totally. Gosh.
Dog is losing his mind. Yeah, how much was that?
I'll We can figure it out later.
Yeah, you figure it out. Subtract.
We're-
But
Yeah.
you will be led to the back. There's a pen. There is a beautiful blue scaled raptor. Upon seeing you, it rushes over, opens its mouth wide, and make an animal handling check, Jonah.
Great.
And a little too roughly, kind of like, you think it's kind of in play, but it's a little too rough. You take 2 points slashing damage as it kind of like rushes into you, but kind of leaves a couple. It's like one of the cat kind of grabs onto you and just kind of some scratches.
Oh, whoa! You've got mighty big, buddy.
Yeah, he is fairly well grown. One of the handlers comes over and he's like, "This one's a handful. Haven't seen cobalt scales. They're not usually around these parts."
Oh, where are they originally from?
Like, oh, well, I mean they're from Chalk, but usually we don't see them around the port. A lot of times they're kind of further south, coastal. But anyways, yeah. So you.
So there's not a lot around. Oh, potentially. Is there a lot of raptors in this area, like outside of the city?
In general, yes.
So it's good raptor area, but not for the blue one, not for cobalts.
Not usually, not this far north. Usually they're green and brown kind of thing, blend in with the jungle more. Coastal ones, they stick a bit to the lighter areas of the jungle. Either way, this guy's pretty feisty.
Would Donaquin have a better recognition? That's not recognition. That's the word I'm looking for. Of this color of
probably. Yeah, he's probably seen these type before.
Oh yeah. I don't know. For some reason, I just imagined Donaquin talking with a really low, really slow.
Oh sure.
Oh sure. Kind of Eeyore like.
Did that share with you, Jonah?
It did. I have Chance the Raptor.
Yeah, so that's his stat block. Just see if you want to see what he can do.
Oh. How many hit points? Oh god.
Not a ton, but a decent amount.
I'm gonna feed him some riot root.
And they're like, no, riot root is lethal to raptors. Meat only diet. Meat only.
Of course.
Mix it up in.
You guys want to meet him?
Yeah, Quillen would like get like right up, like down at his level, and just be like, "Wow, he's not wild. It's crazy."
Make an animal handling check.
As it mauls my face off. Oh, it's wild.
It's not wild. It's crazy. Oh god.
Yeah, it kind of hisses and kind of like moves closer to Jonah.
Donaquin will introduce himself too.
Donaquin also makes an animal handling check.
Well, is he talking to him like in the raptor language?
Shit.
Yeah, I was wondering, could either Donaquin or Blackman like talk to him, see how he's doing?
Yeah. I think if you ask, Donaquin would do that. What can he do? I don't know. Speech of the woods?
Yeah, speech of the woods. He can talk with...
Beasts can understand you. You gain the ability to decipher their mood. So he can relay... Yeah, like he'd be able to understand Donaquin and tell him, like, if he's hurting or if he's okay, kind of thing. Like, basic concepts. He can't, like, describe, I believe, like, but... Basic, I think, concepts, right? Is that right?
Yeah. I mean, the raptors don't have, like, human level intelligence, right? So,
yeah.
Be like talking
can-
to a dog, essentially.
Yeah, it lacks the intelligence to convey sophisticated concepts, but a friendly beast could relay what it has seen or heard in the recent past, is how it's described. Intentions and yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, Sean's saying he would go up softly and introduce himself
Oh.
to Chance.
Yeah.
So do you want me to roll animal handling for that?
Yes. Yeah. Because yeah, this ability even says, doesn't make you friendly to the beast. It just, well, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chance is more than willing to talk and kind of like, I mean, talk, quote unquote, communicate anyways. Yeah, he's good. He's been well fed and well taken care of, treated very well. Training's gone well. Donaquin would probably pass along that Chance seems to be a little timid, actually. Hence he's got his self-preservation reaction for added survival. That doesn't mean he can't fight, because he can, just like a normal raptor. But he's pretty quick and pretty agile. As far as recent events in the past, well, I don't know if you're curious about anything that might have happened just recently with Ethan there.
Yeah.
But since that literally was within the last hour, Chance would be able to convey that, although he doesn't fully understand, number one, he would communicate that he definitely likes Ethan a lot. He's a really nice guy.
Oh.
Very kind, very giving. He's seen him several times since he's been here. Comes down fairly regularly. Always nice to all the animals. And he would tell you that sounds like he specifically was checking on some of what he would call the some of the bigger ones, like him. He says he thinks that they're getting ready for however he would convey it in raptor speak, but getting ready for perhaps maybe some events at the arena, some of the bigger nastier combat dinosaurs.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Chance would also he's not super interested in fighting in the arena, but he thinks it would be kind of fun.
Oh, well.
But he's not like gung-ho about it.
Okay, well, just let me know. I'm glad you're having fun.
Yeah, and
you... Oh, go on.
the handler's probably just like, kind of like just watching with like fascination as Donaquin translates raptor speak for you.
So is Cullen.
Donaquin, can you ask if he's happy?
He is, yeah. He's happy. He likes it.
Does he ever want to go back in the wild?
Doesn't have... He's interested in seeing the wild, but he's not super interested in living there. He's like, why would he? He gets free food and fun and attention and friends here.
Chance has never been in the wild.
Yeah.
He was
Literally
born here.
never.
Yeah.
I know, but sometimes that's... Can you just let him know that I think that's a choice that he should be able to make for himself. That he's not my raptor, he's his raptor. If he wants to go out in the wild, that's a choice he gets to make.
You're his friend.
Donovan's not quite sure if Chance understands his own self-determination and destiny and all of that, and to make future plans, but he seems to be happy to come with you guys or to stay in equal measure.
Sure.
As long as he's got food and is taken care of, that's kind of his primary concern.
I guess really just the point I'm coming from is, I got sort of sent out into the world by my kin to go experience it, to make sure that I wasn't missing out on anything. I just want to make sure that he's got the same opportunity if he wishes to take it, to go. Because he hasn't been in the wild. He doesn't know he's missing. Sometimes it's hard to know if you're going to be missing something you've never experienced.
Well, I think he would say that he would like to see for himself what's out there, but maybe it doesn't mean he can't come back if he doesn't like it.
Yeah. No, that's the entire point. That's what my parents are doing. I get to go out in the wild and then come back if I want to.
It's
But
time
it's a
for
choice
our
I get to make.
Raptor Rumspringa.
Well, honestly, from Jonah's point of view, that would be like his natural, like, that's how the world should work. So that's what I'm trying to express.
All
Do you
right.
want to go? Do you want to go here? Do you want me to take you somewhere else? Go back down to the south coast?
Let's see. Chance would like to go with you. I left it
Are
up to
dinosaurs
Chance. Get it?
allowed
Oh.
I left it up to Chance.
What?
Are dinosaur pets allowed in the city?
Mhm.
They are? Okay.
Gotta be leashed though.
Okay.
Within the walls, yeah.
Okay.
That was explained to
Okay.
Jonah last time he was here.
I'm sure it was. Liz doesn't remember. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, you have the proper paperwork and everything for him to be legally,
Mhm.
but yeah, he can't be just wandering around loose in the city. That's a good way to get the guards to kill him.
Oh,
But,
yeah. Makes
yeah,
sense.
if he's
It's
with you and
dinosaur.
he's like on a chain or whatever, and or like,
Okay. Well, I would also thank Donaquin for translating that. That was very important for me. So.
Donna Quinn said he's having a great time talking with Chance. So
Oh,
anytime.
well, great. I'm glad you guys are friends. Okay. Well, great. I'll give Chance a big hug. Well, can't take you to the inn right now, I don't think. I will ask, but don't get your hopes up. So you might still stay here with your friends. So, unless I misunderstood and you wanted to leave when you said you wanted to go with us, like go with me to leave you. But I think you said you wanted to go with me, like stay, right?
he wants to go with you out into the wilds.
Oh, he
Into
wants to
the
go into the
world.
wild.
Yeah,
Into
not
exploring,
into the
like
city,
the-
not like he's interested in going out into seeing what's out there in the wilds.
Oh, I'm
So,
sorry. You want to go on Rumspringa or not? Or are you
Yeah.
going on adventures with us?
He wants to go with you guys,
Okay, just make sure. Okay,
not just on his own.
I'll. Gotcha. Yep, that's what I was asking. Sorry.
Sean would like to, as Don, he wants to offer that when Chance is with us as a group to work with you two to figure out some basic notions of communication between you.
That would
if
be
you'd
great.
like.
Ah, well, thank you. Thank you very much. All right, Donaquin. All right, Chance. I will see you maybe later tonight once I figure out if you can sleep in my room or not.
Seems content with that.
I'm sure Blackwind wouldn't mind.
Yeah, Blackwood's like,
Yeah, sleeping next to a raptor.
I ain't cleaning up the raptor shit.
Yeah. Okay. Bye, Chance.
Bye. See ya.
Well, it's nice to know that Efon's really a good guy after all, and we don't have to, like, get rid of him anymore. That's awesome.
Damn it, he's a villain, but he loves animals. Fuck!
I almost love him. Because if there's one thing I know is, I think Donovan can attest to this. Animals are good judges of people's true intentions and characters. Except birds. Goddamn birds.
Yeah.
Sean, as a note, so he's been leaving comments.
Mhm.
You have 2 wild shapes today if you wanted to use one to become a raptor and play with Chance.
Oh, that's so cute.
Because he said, if the end of the day before a long rest, if he hasn't used his wild shape, he'd like to become a raptor and play with Chance. So you do have 2 available for today. And you did the swimming thing yesterday, so
Well, maybe he wants to keep it for this.
you might want to see it. I'm just letting him know.
Great.
Alright. So, guys gonna head up to the Golden Throne then?
Yeah.
Meet up with the rest
I'm
of the
done.
party for your meeting?
Yep.
Excellent. Well, you arrive probably about... How far is it from the Dinosaur Pens to Golden Throne? That's a long ways. So probably about 45 minutes later, you'll find yourself arriving at Golden Throne. Aelin, did you have anything else to do, or were you going up to Golden Throne after the jewel market as
Going
well?
up to Golden Throne.
Okay. So you'll get there probably just before the others, depending on how long you stayed at the jewel market. Find your sister scribing scrolls. Shortly before, probably would be, well, sometime around 11 or so, you guys will find yourself finishing your scroll scribing. God, can't get those words out.
Spell scribing.
Spell
'Cause this is going
scribing.
straight into my book, baby.
Grimoire scribing. As you kind of finish up there, you guys find yourself out in Golden Throne in kind of like the lobby waiting area. Assume you gave your names to see if. Actually, Liz, you will receive a note as you're waiting from the clerk.
Oh.
2 notes, in fact.
Oh no. Wakanga would like to meet you at noon today.
No, Wakanga has actually declined meeting you. He's not interested. In the clerk's words, Wakanga seemed to say that it was far too late for him to worry about such matters now. Being months later, he's not.
Sure.
It's kind of just past his window of attention.
Airship full of loot is all ours then.
Yep.
Sure. Yeah, he seems to have completely moved on. So, yeah, he's not interested in meeting with you. So essentially, they just take your name off the list.
Yeah, that's fine.
Where the hell? Aha! I found it. Also, she would let you know that you had put your name down to meet with Joe Ball. She's wondering if you still want to be put back because they removed your name from the rolls when they couldn't get a hold of you.
Yeah.
By the time that he was available. So they were wondering whether you want to put your name back down if you still have a reason to meet with him at this juncture, or is that...
I don't know how long I'll be in town this visit, so maybe I'll hold off for now, and I'll see if I can swing when I'm back there next time.
Okay. So they just update their records because you had on the 2nd of Ches, like, which is a while ago, is when you put your name on the list for them. You had put your name down on the list for Xanthi back then as well.
Yep, that was me.
Yeah, so you have since been removed as well from the list.
Can I inquire as to how long it was before they called me? They had us down for that, like just so I had an idea of how long it would have taken.
Yeah, it would have been, so 2nd of Ches, you put your name on the list. It would have been about the 16th of Ches.
Okay.
That they tried to find you, and failing that, they tried again the following week, and failing that, they removed you from the list.
Yeah,
because they have no idea whether you're even still on the continent at that point. So.
Yeah, no, business took us. I'll apologize for not letting them know and to say unexpectedly. I had to leave unexpectedly.
Yeah, and same Aelin as well. It was not quite the same time, maybe a few days here and there, but basically the same deal. By the time it was Tarsak, your name was off the list for Xanthi.
Yeah.
So as you guys are waiting, Xanthi, one of her
Did you guys stop in at the Cura's? You guys are doing that on your way, right? For Lyric? You guys are stopping and leaving a note and stuff, right?
Oh, I thought you just were sending a note to it.
I don't know. That's
Well,
what I'm
I mean,
clarifying before we.
Do we?
I mean, does it matter
Do we
if you
have-
go there and hand a note, or
You sent
just
a note.
send a note?
Yeah.
Just send
Just,
it out. Send it out.
yeah, send a note.
That's what my understanding was when in the morning before you left, that you were just going to send
Yeah,
a note saying.
it's kind of out of the way to go down there.
Well, I mean, it's yeah. Maybe
It's
Yeah.
we have to go all the way down here and then go
I
back
see.
up.
Okay. Gotcha. Sorry.
Oh, it's okay. One of her. So you guys are in like this waiting room. Basically, it's just you guys in this little waiting room. It's very similar to the room you guys were in last time you were here, waiting for Wakanga. It's in a slightly different section of Golden Throne, but it's the same deal. It's just kind of a nice room. You're there, kind of waiting and waiting. An attendant comes out. She's kind of like a middle-aged woman. She wanders over to you guys, and she says, "Ah, yes, you are the ones that Clevin put your names down for, yes?"
We are, yes. We're just waiting for the rest of our group to arrive for the meeting as well.
I mean, you're all there.
Oh, they
Yeah.
caught up?
Yeah, this is when all
Oh,
of you
okay.
are here.
Sorry, when you said just us, I thought you meant it was still me and Aelin waiting for them. Then,
Um,
yes, we are!
She nods. She's like, yes. Xanthi is nearly ready. It won't be much longer, just a few more minutes. In the meantime, would any of you care for refreshments?
Fresh water would be great.
Do you have any
Yes.
pastries?
Nods. Pastries? Yes, absolutely.
Last time we had some sort of sparkly drink with fruit in it while we were waiting. Really good.
He nods. She's like, yeah, I can get you some of those.
That's what
Okay, great.
Is this the same lady? Wait. So, is this the same lady we met last time? The reception lady?
Gossipy one.
No,
That was Wakanga's.
that was
Okay, just
Wakanga's
making sure.
attendance. Yeah.
That's what I thought, but then you were like
This-
the same drink. I was like, wait, we can get some good info.
Yeah, no, this is a much different older lady. Seems to be
No,
much
it's
more
older lady.
professional than the bubbly
Okay, good.
model that Wakanga employed. So she leaves. She's like, okay, won't be but a moment. And as she goes to step out, there is a sudden kind of like flickering in some of the lamps that light because there's like actual like continual flame lamps like brightly lighting this room. They suddenly kind of like flicker a little bit and kind of dim. And the woman kind of like looks around. She's like, oh, it's nothing. I'm sure it's nothing. And then
No.
she goes to turn, and you see suddenly, just from the corner of the room, what looks to be like a long snake-like, black skeletal arm made of shadow whips out of the corner and pierces directly through her torso.
Pick it up. And
that's where we'll end today's session.
No pastries. See, I was smart. No non-combat spells.
I took combat spells today, baby.
Exactly.
But still limited. I split the difference this time. I'm like, okay, I'll take a few of each instead
Well,
of
that was so a shadowy snake, or just
An
no,
arm.
long
an
snake
arm, but snake like
Does it look
not-
like what we saw in Mesro?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, from the portals.
Yeah.
oh no.
we're here. Poltergeist.
That was a movie.
Yeah, that's in there. Here is from that.
It was,
Isn't it?
yeah, I remember.
Yeah. Yeah. The girl touching the TV.
Yeah.
No, yeah. Drew Barrymore, she played that girl. No, she didn't. That was E.T. Anyways,
E.T. didn't play that girl.
But there's
So
nothing to fight.
That's
The
true.
snake arm whips out. There's nothing to fight.
oh, it doesn't end there, Liz.
What?
But that's where the session's ending.
Oh. Well, see, in Mesro, when it happened, it just went and then it was gone. Like there was nothing
That's true.
Right, but
to do.
I
The
don't
thing
think
that
the
made it.
and I don't think the the reception lady was the target of our current encounter. Merely a bystander.
It's a good thing it wasn't the gossip. She was helpful.
I know, right?
Well, thankfully, just this rando.
This
that,
rando that didn't give us any
I didn't
reserved
even ask
information.
your name.
Yeah, no information and no pastries, no sparkling drink.
Oh man,
Oh,
Dylan's gonna get his new clothes all messed up.
I know.
What
I'm
are we even
wearing
paying for here?
Fine. Cost 15 gold, man.
That's what prestidigitation's for. Just don't get it torn up and shit. Well, that's what
Oh, I
mending's
can't. No, that's what mending's for. I got all the tools.
for. I can fix and clean. All right. Well, we
Oh, boy.
will wrap up the session here. Let's do our little round table. Let's start with Donaquin. You enjoyed it? Glad you did.
He loved talking to Chance the Rapper. That was by far his favorite thing. It was great.
Well,
That's
inspiration to Donovan for. Oh, I should wait till my turn.
He's full. Anyway.
he also-
It's your
he's
turn, John. I started at
yeah.
the bottom left. I'll do a loop.
Sure. Glad I got to talk to Chance. We got some stuff done. We got some back lore. Looks like we're going to have a fight next session that I won't be at, so you guys do well.
Oh,
You know, if I die next section, just take my body, let Chance see me one last time. So, but no thorns. And then inspiration to Donovan for translating and having fun with Chance. So,
all
except
right.
he's full, so I won't do that.
Okay.
Inspiration to Andre for
He's full.
thinking about.
Also,
I give up.
Yeah, okay. That's all right.
I don't think I rolled any. I rolled like one thing this session. I was like,
Wow.
I gotta use it. I gotta use it. Oh no.
All right. Ryan?
Yeah, just I mean, I couldn't get involved in this one. It was kind of an outside one for me. Did research, which was odd. I rolled good, but unfortunately, I'm not very well. Unfortunately, it wasn't good enough. I don't think, if there was anything. But I don't know. Like, yeah, I tried to do stuff, but wasn't really a Blackwind style episode, unfortunately. So there was some points there, but I kind of had to get some other things going. So I was listening, but I was kind of far out.
Distracted. I kind of figured. I felt it in the last half, anyways. After the break, I definitely felt that you were distracted or preoccupied. But it's okay.
So, anyways, I mean, yeah, it's not. It was just mediocre. I don't think it was just mostly because of character stuff. That Blackwind, some of the stuff just wasn't what he gets involved in as much. Is all. If you know what I'm saying. So.
Yeah. No, I get it. All right, Liz.
Yeah. Everything was pretty good. I like not almost dying. That feels nice. It's a nice change from the last 2 sessions. Yeah, I mean, this is basically, what I'm into. I was gonna give Blackwind inspiration
He's full.
for. He's full
couldn't.
too.
I barely. The only things I rolled pretty much had advantage already. except for
I'd
a
like to
couple
give myself inspiration. Then Brad for trying and failing to bribe the dude. I think it was a gutsy move. I think it could have got you in a lot of trouble. So
Yeah, and which is why I use my inspiration on my
Yeah.
thing to. It's like I feel like if I fail this, I'm gonna be in a lot of trouble.
and so I think it was a gutsy move that I never would have attempted in that moment. So inspiration. No, I can't think of any downsides. I mean, other than my own, I wish I had rolled better on some of the research, but That's how it goes. I like seeing Soggy again. That's fine.
Cool. Brad?
Yeah, good stuff. Man, the Roka guy, like, I was like, man, I'm gonna have another character that sees red when like provoked like that. But I was like, you know what? No, Quillen, he's in a new city, he's in a new thing. He's like all these new experiences. He can write this off as just I guess bribes don't really work. Yeah. So I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm gonna roll a new character. Just 'cause I'm gonna attack this guy and immediately die.
Quillen's pretty wise though.
No,
You
yeah.
know,
Yeah.
so I think playing it that way, his intelligence is low enough to try it, but his wisdom is high enough to know, if it
Yeah.
sort of deal.
So, yeah, it was fun. I mean, inspiration to Liz, definitely for. I mean, this was obviously very much a Liz, Archie, kind of centric, researchy. Let's get the info thing, and that's your thing, and you leaned right into it. So yeah.
I'm glad nobody got hurt by the hags.
Yeah.
Yet. Donnequin took 9 psychic damage, so you lie.
That's true. Donna Quinn did get hurt.
Aelin. Also known as
Yeah. Okay. Enjoyed it all throughout. The hag stuff was really interesting. It was exceptionally disturbing imagery. I thought you did a really good job of just describing some really fucked up stuff happening. Especially the doll that dug itself out of the kid's corpse. That one was like, oh, Corey.
Let me know if I go too far. By the way.
I mean, for me, it was like, I wouldn't say it was too far, but it was like, man, that was crazy. Like, if that makes sense, like, it was as a character seeing that was definitely too far, but as a player, it was like, wow, that was dark. That was good job, Corey.
Do they seem familiar from a game?
From a game?
It sounds like
this
yeah.
game.
Well, there's a
Oh, they just remind me of the.
There's a trio. There's a coven. That's a trio in Witcher 3. Yeah.
The basket one reminded me of it. That's all.
I liked just stumbling on that maybe they had hidden things on our persons and then us successfully finding those things.
Who thought of that? That was you,
That
wasn't
was
it?
Andre, yeah.
Yeah, that was why I think John initially was like, I call inspiration first.
we were sitting there talking about it, and I was like, Alan's probably gonna look through his stuff and just see if there's anything weird in there.
Yeah, that was smart. It's very smart.
Yeah, I'm very curious about what is about to go down in Golden Throne, and how no matter what happens, we're gonna somehow get blamed for it.
Guess we'll find out.
But we've got the papers saying we're working for Soggy, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, can I just say that was my favorite encounter? Yeah, Soggy's he's a good one. I like Soggy a lot.
Don't
John,
say that too much, though. Corey's just gonna kill him.
It's gonna kill him.
That's true.
John, are you full on inspiration?
I'm not.
He has none. Well, for me, that's because he used like 3 inspiration this session. I'm pretty sure. For me, it was. I mean, overall, it was good. It's just city-based sessions are a lot for me as a DM, to be honest. There's just so many characters and so many things like that could happen or might happen, and it's just a lot of stuff. But it's good. I think I hit all the main beats I wanted to this session. I was kind of hoping to get through this Xanthi meeting this session too. Didn't quite get there, but that's okay. It'll be good. Yeah, but otherwise, yeah, I thought it was good. Lots of good stuff. I think you guys researched some good stuff. That learned a lot that you didn't maybe know before. Put some connections together with a few things, so that was cool. Yeah. Anyways, I enjoyed it. No fight this session, but that's okay. Last couple sessions were quite a bit of combat, so that sometimes is the way it goes, especially in the city. You can't have that too many fights. So anyways, we'll wrap up. We'll wrap up. Yeah. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Magic Mythal Tomb of Annihilation. We live stream Sunday night starting 4 p.m. here on Twitch, and also post sessions up on YouTube, which the link is below in my profile. If you enjoy spending this time, give us a follow, turn on your notifications. You'll see when we go live, and you'll never miss an episode. Thanks again, and thank you to all of my players. Until next time, have a good night.